7 years of BuyBotPro YouTube, 7 years of BuyBotPro. Wow. Like, what a long time. And to be fair, it feels like not even that long ago that I picked up the BuyBotPro YouTube videos, but I was having a look and I picked them up in 2022 and I've been doing them pretty much weekly since. That's a lot of videos. That's a lot of time. I mean, 7 years is crazy to think about. Like, imagine it like this. If, say you had a baby in 2018 when BuyBotPro debuted, and wow, what a revolutionary thing that was. There wasn't really anything in the Amazon software space prior to that. Definitely nothing like BuyBotPro, and then boom, BuyBotPro, first tool of its kind, still leading the way of innovation all these years later. And wow, everything that's happened in that time frame. So going back to my example, like if you had a baby in 2018, they would have passed the nursery stages. They would have passed the infant school stages. They would be starting like primary school. And like it's the same with BuyBotPro. Like we have essentially watched it grow up, and it's just it's awesome to see it where it is now, and with the large user base that it has, and there's so many people that love BuyBotPro, and it is a key part of their Amazon business. And if you're watching this, and if that's you using BuyBotPro, whether you've been with us the entirety of the 7 years, if so, like you are a living legend, or even if you have been just like using it for a year, say, or a couple of months, like thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your feedback. You know, part of how BuyBotPro has got to the point where it is now is because of you and your feedback. Nearly half the things in BuyBotPro have come about through user suggestions and tweaks and so forth. And, you know, it is an Amazon tool made by Amazon sellers for Amazon sellers. So thank you for being with us on this journey. Now, I thought I'd do something kind of cool for this video. And there we are. Your channel is 7 years old. Wow. Yeah, so let's go back to where it all started. Let's do a little, let's have a little photo album time for BuyBotPro and have a look at how far it's come. So this is the first instance of BuyBotPro. Now what we're looking at here is the settings. This isn't the main panel, but wow, just look at it. Look at that settings cog. And the way that the settings were arranged at that point, and of course there weren't as many settings then as there are now. Look at those sliders for the criteria. Now, of course, you just type in what you want, but then you had sliders for that sort of thing. Wow. This is a screenshot from the main panel. So as you can see there, we didn't have the suggested purchase quantity on release. If you look at the multi-market analyzer, it was a lot smaller then. Of course, all we had were the European marketplaces at that point, and you know, there wasn't as much information in here as obviously what we have now. I mean, suggested purchase quantity, obviously everyone will know it from being in this section. Like, it wasn't there initially, it was here. Hazmat, that was in here as well, and I'm sure you've caught a glimpse of this. This was before we had implemented our own sales charts. Obviously that uses keeper data amongst other things, but before that we just had the straight up keeper charts just in here, before we then had the BuyBotPro sales charts, and then with the option of viewing the keeper chart if you wanted to. So this was before BuyBotPro sales charts. I mean, look at that little Google export function right there in the in what is now the details section. Moving on, so we are now moving on another year. So this was 2018, so we're now moving on to 2019, and then we started implementing the BuyBotPro sales charts. As you can see, we completely upgraded that multi-market analyzer. The US and Canada joined BuyBotPro. VA toolbox placed in there as well. Competition analysis was basically saw a bit of a glamour up, and I mean, look at that, the start of the BuyBotPro chart. So this was only a year later. Here is a look at the main panel again. So we're now in 2020. BuyBotPro Ireland, it's there. Some bits were moved, so as you can see, the details section is a bit more in line with it actually being like those number details. So look, we had the hazmat moved there, eligibility, dangerous goods. Obviously things like the IP, that was in here. Oversize, that was in here as well. And the buy box analysis, we used to have sort of like emoji indicators. So like if the buy box was being shared fairly frequently, like very frequently, it would have like the happiest face, and if it wasn't being shared at all, it would have a sad face. So there used to be little emojis as indicators for that buy box analysis. Then we are moving on, so we are now in 2021. I mean, look at that older Profit Protector Pro extension as well. Suggested purchase quantity is now in here. We have the alerts, so that stuff was moved out of details into alerts. We actually named the section details, and of course everything is now a bit tidier. We have the number work in there. We now have the discounts in there to work that out. This is a snapshot from, this was actually my first BuyBotPro YouTube video. So my first video was a getting started one, so how to sign up to BuyBotPro, installing it, some of the things that you want to do as soon as you get into the extension. And as you can see, this is the settings. Everything was reworked, and then it was put in priority order. So we have the basic settings which you do need to have in BuyBotPro, which you do need to set. And then we had things in advanced settings, and we had a lot more there in the settings, and also the confidence score that at this point had long since had the ability for you to type in things like minimum profit, minimum ROI, and so forth as BuyBotPro Island again. There's a look from the front. As you can see, Profit Protector Pro had its upgrade from the old user interface to the new user interface that we all know now and has been around for a couple of years. The variations function was external to BuyBotPro, and you'd have to tap that button right there and it would open it up with the variations table. So we are now in 2022. So as I say, this is when I started making the BuyBotPro YouTube videos. Prior to that, I did a couple of videos for webinars and things like that, so that was the only time that you'd actually see me or hear me. But then, yep, I started doing the YouTube videos kind of full time. And then fast forward, so from 2022 onwards, there were several tweaks and new features added in and so forth, but the main look of BuyBotPro stayed quintessentially the same. Fast forward to 2024. The new user interface is implemented. Everything is made a lot sleeker. It's given a much more modern feel. Certain processes are drastically improved. For example, Google Sheets, and especially with customizing them as well. It used to be that you would have to go into the Google Sheets customization in the old user interface and enter in the letter of the column that you want, that bit of information that you would want in that column. But then of course it's like having to look through, then removing, then typing in the column that you want and so forth. And now obviously it's just a drag and drop job. And yeah, lots of processes were refined, made a lot easier, made a lot smoother. And as you can see, you know, a lot sleeker, much more modern feel, as I say. And this also came with a bunch of new features. As you can see, one of them was the feedbacks. And yeah, a completely new process for Google Sheets and for virtual assistants as well. Let's not forget BuyBot Go. So this is BuyBot Go when it first started. As you can see, it still has a lot of the core elements then as it does now. That's not had to change too much because BuyBot Go has always been, you know, it's always had a lot of the stuff that you need already in there. It is just a mobile friendly version of BuyBotPro. Wow, that's crazy. And looking at it now, let's just flick between the two. This is BuyBot Go now. Look at that. So yeah, BuyBot Go has seen its share of improvements and upgrades, but you know, we can never forget where we started out at. Still amazing to see now. In fact, I'd say that the old BuyBot Go does actually stand up quite well. Like if that was still around today, it would still stand up quite well. But obviously, we're all about making these tools the very, very best that they can be. So we are still going to continue to upgrade and make these tools even better. And here we are now, the most up-to-date version of the new user interface. Again, even on top of what had already been done for the new user interface, things get made even sleeker. You've got much more, you've got a lot more information that's just openly available to you, but still in a neat kind of way. Look at BuyBotPro Ireland's upgrade. BuyBotPro really has come a very long way. I mean, look at where we are now. We have obviously this super sleek new UI. We have the wholesale feature. We have a completely refined and smooth way of working with virtual assistants on BuyBotPro. We have the buy box analysis function. The variations is in the main panel now. We have the web view of BuyBotPro. I mean, let's just go back. There we were. There we are now. So 7 years. Just thought it would be quite cool to look back at all these different versions of BuyBotPro and look at that progress over time. Really has come such a long way. And once again, thank you for being a part of that journey. 7 years of BuyBotPro.